GLOBHE operates the world's first crowd droning platform. What exactly is crowd droning, Helena?
Basically, what that means, it's a crowd of drone pilots and drones out there gathering image data on demand. It's a very useful tool because drones can gather intel at a very fast scale. It's a new tool that can gather data in a much more efficient way than many other traditional methods, since you gather the data from above, obviously. So you capture much more data in each shot that the drone takes. And compared to satellite, it's in real time, and it's also of much higher image quality, which means that you can zoom in, you can get more detailed analysis and information from every single drone photo. We also do offer stitching of the drone images into digital maps for our clients, as well as marking out specific objects of interest in these images for our clients. And in our case, that's primarily marking out areas that are at risk of wildfires, meaning areas that are very dry, or marking out areas that have been affected by flooding. It could be the number of houses that are affected, the number of roads, and so forth.
So, how do you go about sourcing qualified drone pilots? Because I imagine everybody thinks that they could be or are a drone pilot.
Every drone pilot that is working for crowd droning by GLOBHE, they need to sign up to our platform. They need to have a certain amount of flight hours, need to have the permission needed to fly. They also need to have a registered business and the insurance needed. So most of our pilots have been flying as freelance drone pilots for media for quite some years before taking on missions for us.
And so, how widely adopted is the technology when it comes to looking at preventative measures for natural disasters as opposed to when natural disasters are actually occurring?
I think that the world is really learning that it's better to try to avoid a disaster in the first place. And that's obviously a tool that we can help doing by crowd droning, try to identify patterns in the environment to be able to pinpoint areas at risk for different types of disease outbreaks and different types of natural disasters. So I think that we're turning towards prevention more, and the technology is there and ready to do it. And hopefully soon the end users are ready as well.
What surprising discoveries have you uncovered through the drone network that traditional means just wouldn't have been able to actually uncover themselves?
Yeah, so a few different really interesting scenarios for us. Obviously, I mean, using drones in post-natural disaster settings, for instance, after hurricanes, where there has been quite some damage to the society. There are roofs missing on houses, there are bridges that have collapsed, there are roads that are flooded and so forth. And you're looking at our drone data and our drone images, and you can really see these changes on society. But then if you look at Google Maps, you cannot even tell that there has been a natural disaster. So obviously, really getting the insights of what reality looks like in real time is, of course, of interest in the data sets that our drones do capture around the world. Also, the detail analysis that they can gain. So it's everything from being able to spot armyworms on crop leaves to help produce better agriculture, and also be able to see, for instance, these small but important patterns in lake areas. We're using the drones to scan over lake areas and identify malaria mosquito breeding sites, so that we can pinpoint where the next malaria outbreak is most likely to take place.